In 2012, former Prime Minister Stephen Harper changed the rules around pardons, replacing them with record suspensions. The application fee quadrupled, and the number of years to be eligible to request one doubled. Liberal MP Dan Vandal filed a petition to change the current system, and he joins us now from Winnipeg. Dan, thanks so much for being here this morning.
Good morning, Ben.
So you presented a petition to the House of Commons last year. So far, it's received 1,100 signatures. We reached out to Public Safety Minister Ralph Goodale, who said this, quote, we reached out, he said, our government is committed to reforming the pardon system. We want to ensure that the waiting period, fee, and purpose of the program are fair, proportionate, and productive. So what's the status now? Are you any closer to having the system changed? And is your goal to revert to the pre-Harper era?
Well, as you stated, the government did respond several months after the petition was presented. I think our government is committed to reforming the pardon system, and over the last couple of years, we've been making an assessment of all the changes that have occurred over the last 10 years before we were in government, and we are assessing where the gaps are. We are assessing where the changes, in our opinion, are not in keeping with promoting rehabilitation of individuals, preventing crime, or making communities safer. So that is going to be addressed in time. We have been very, very aggressive on reforming the taking on issues that have huge justice implications, such as the assisted dying bill and the cannabis. So I'm confident that in time the pardon system will be reformed under our government.
I mean, just through our conversation, I can hear that, you know, Prime Minister Harper tried to change the name, and you're using the old term pardon. So I'm just wondering, where is if we're going with an evidence-based sort of solution here or change, what evidence are you seeing that suggests that a change needs to happen?
Well, first of all, it's important to note that the pardon system was introduced in 1970, and between 1970 and 2012, where the amendments were made by the former government, there were approximately 410,000 pardons that were issued in that time. Of those 410 pardons that were issued, 96% of those individuals are still pardoned. So that indicates to me that the recidivism rate was very, very low. And we have to remember that our justice system is based on some principles of rehabilitation, of preventing crime, and ensuring that communities are safer. And the simple fact is, Ben, that if you don't receive a pardon, you cannot get a job. So for an individual, and you also have to understand that the pardon is the final end of the rehabilitation process. So unless an individual receives that pardon, that individual cannot get a decent job. If you can't get a job, you can't support yourself, let alone your family. If you can't support your family, then you're in dire straits. Often, without a pardon, you can't even get a volunteer opportunity with a nonprofit organization. So, if we're serious about rehabilitating individuals to making sure individuals have paid the price for their crime, they've gone through the process of rehabilitation, we need to make sure that the pardon process encourages rehabilitation. And by getting a pardon, you will be able to actually fill out a criminal record check in a positive way and get that job that's so important for individuals to get back on their feet.
Dan Vandal, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you sharing this story with us today.
Thank you very much, Ben.